calls by FOB to put this on hold based on economic reasons?
So a couple of things. At first, I want to start with a disclaimer. Please, I'm saying this morning, I've got nothing to do with an investment scheme by any certain chama they buy online that says I'm telling you to bring money for some investment. And I do not sell any prostate drug online, please. Somebody just called me that they had lost 400,000 naira this morning to that investment scheme. I've got nothing to do with it. And please, I'm giving this disclaimer here. And please, police authorities, go after the scammers and get people's money back. As regards the Senate, these are my fears. My fears are that with postponing this process for another couple of days, I think we're going to lose it. We're going to lose the chance to be able to right all the wrongs we saw in the last election. And it would be a miracle if they finally assent to it. Because you need a 1-year mark prior to implementation. And if they're going this way, it's very sad. And these things are not things that you need to review over and over again. These are all of the things that Nigerians complained about in the last elections, that marred the last election. The fact that we couldn't get beavers in, in real time, IREV in real time, and some other challenges. Please, the Senate, save this country. Because if nothing is done, it will be on record that the Senate lost their chance to be part of the success of this country. But I'm not surprised. Was this not the same Senate that even before we talked about passing beavers and using beavers prior to the 2023 election, most of them lied that they had no internet in their villages when the debate was on? So they are always concerned about this. And that's why I keep saying this Senate does not really represent the hopes and aspirations of the people. Look at what Ali Dume said yesterday about the tax laws. The Senate president said something. Ali Dume said no, that they have seen multiple discrepancies. In fact, there's a story on the front page of Daily Trust today that is saying that there's been breach in the tax laws. Go and read Daily Trust today to see that story. As regards even the Establishment Act and people they put on different boards. So we just want Nigeria to be clean and clear. But it's so difficult for some people. You know why? Because they have interests, and the interest about them. And you see, for all the resource you get from your interest, you won't take it to heaven. We keep saying that. You will die and go. And people that even know how you amass the resource will be the ones that use it after you. So do what you can for humanity. As regards Kanu, it's beginning to get obvious that Kwankwaso did overshoot the wrong way. Based on the reportage we got from this day, saying that he wanted 20% of the structure of the APC, is he God? I thought Kwankwaso would have worked at even consolidating and having a couple of states. Because you see, this beautiful bride mentality is always hard. You cannot compare yourself to Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu then, before he became President Tinubu, had about 5 to 6 states in the southwest. He consolidated. So anytime he wanted to bargain politically with President Bola Tinubu now, he had many things on the table working for him. And that's why when President Buhari was able to do the deal across the Niger, across the Benue, like Anatu, my sister, was saying, there was something President Tinubu could bring on the table. But you've just been only one state, and now you're bargaining with people and saying you want to get the structure and all of that, and you're talking about vice presidential ticket. How about when the man has a running mate? And the running mates, Vice President Kashim Shettima is not a pushover. What you have, he also has. He's former governor like you. So, if based on the reportage, and I'm saying if based on that because it's one side we hear, if based on that reportage, and it's anything to go by, then I think he's overshot himself. But he can also try to redeem himself, and the next election will matter. Will he be able to float another candidate that will be able to go against APC in the state and beat his own political godson? That would be the battle royale of the century, because he needs consolidation. But now, like the reportage is saying this day, he has a weak bargaining power as regards anything he wants to do now. So it's even going to be way more difficult for him, to be able to make an inroad as regards anything he's going to do at this point in time. I'll yield the floor because of time.
All right, that's about
very quickly. Let me start with Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, whose story is in the news. One, in politics, there's something called horse trading. whether it's in Nigeria or the United States, politicians always want something that will be to their own advantage. What has happened in Dr. Kwankwanso's rumored, publicized, reported attempt to join the APC is that the horse trading failed. And what we have been told is that he was making excessive demands. One, he wanted 20% of APC structures across the country. Even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot boast that he has 20% of APC structures across all the states and the Federal Capital Territory. And that two, he also wanted to be made made the vice president. So almost dictating to the ruling political party that if I join you, then you will have to change your vice president as the minimum demand. And that he also went further and said in 2031, he should be put there as the presidential candidate. All of these demands, the APC reportedly said, well, we don't agree. We can't even discuss 2031. We're talking about 2027. And that already we have a structure in place. You cannot come as an outsider and then come and take like almost half of the party. So the other basic thing beyond horse trading in politics is strategy. It is the person that with the best, smartest strategy that wins. Now, it seems to me that in this particular case, the APC and President Tinubu will seem to have outsmarted Dr. Kwankwanso, who obviously must have believed that, yes, given the strategic importance of Kano State, which is 44, local governments, and also the voting block of almost close to 20 million, because you have to win Kano, as I've said before, win, Lagos, win Rivers, and have 2/3 of the total votes, count according to the Constitution. But what Dr. Kwankwanso has been shown is that it's not as important as he thinks he is. So they've now gone to pick the governor, Governor Abba Yusuf, who is the sitting governor. He has the leverage, there's factor of incumbency, and the federal will face him. So this is about horse trading and also about strategy. How that plays out in the long run remains to be seen. Don't forget that Ganduje is also a factor in Kano State, and Ganduje is on the is on the side of the federal government. So it's a battle royale that we are likely to see in Kano. And Dr. Kwankwanso, by insisting on his own choices, has put his relevance in Kano politics to test, to perhaps what you may call the ultimate test. And then, of course, on the sidelines, Dr. Boniface Aniebonam is accusing, Kwankwanso of being overbearing, and that is because he's making excessive demands. Also, at the local level, that the governor, Abba Yusuf, has now decided to go and join the APC, where perhaps he has been promised, it's not just a second time, but the freedom to run the state without an overbearing godfather. The final point is about the influence of godfathers, a subject that we will always continue to review in this country.
News. Your fast, reliable, and simplified source for Nigerian news updates.